Today we are going to discuss about conditional probability. What is conditional probability? Conditional probability provides us with a way to find the outcome of an experiment when we have been given some additional extra information. For example, suppose a dice is rolled. Okay, a dice is rolled, then what are the outcomes? Outcomes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I find you that ask you that what will be the probability of obtaining a 6? That will be 1 by 6. Very simple, because 6 are possible outcomes. One of the case, that is 1 is favorable case. Now along with this, suppose I give you an additional information that okay, what is the probability of obtaining a 6 given that an even number has been obtained. Okay, that is given that an even number has come on the dice. What is the probability that you will obtain a 6? What will be that? That will be, because how many even numbers are possible? 3 even numbers, 2, 4, 6, and one of those 3, that is 6, is my favorable outcome. So probability will become 1 by 3. So by providing this extra additional information that this event has happened, that I have obtained an even number, my probability of obtaining 6 has changed. In this case it has increased, in some cases it may decrease also, but the whole idea is the moment you have been given some additional extra information about the outcome, your probability has changed. In some cases this may not change also. Now that is what we call independent events, which I will come in subsequent slides, but for the time being I am telling that okay, the moment you have been given some additional information, the probability has changed. So this is called conditional probability. I can give you another example. Suppose I have to find out that what is probability of success in an exam of a particular student. Suppose I want to find out what is the probability that this boy or this student will be selected, say in IIT exam. So this is PS, that is probability of success. Now suppose I have given you an additional extra information that okay, this boy got say 90% marks in CBSE class 12. So the probability of that C I have given. Now I ask you that what is probability of success in exam given that he has got 90% in CBSE. So probability of success given that this C, that is he has got more than 90% or 90% marks in CBSE exam. So this probability will, in most probability it will be greater than PS, because we are assuming that okay, if somebody has got more than 90% in CBSE, then chances are very high as compared to any randomly picked student. So this will be greater than PS. So this is conditional probability of success in IIT given that he has got very good or say 90% marks in CBSE is greater than PS of a random student. It may decrease also. Suppose this boy has failed in class 11. So what is his probability given that he has failed in class 11 will be normally less than probability of a general success. So the conditional probability may increase also with that unconditional PS, or it may decrease also. Let's give another example of conditional probability. Suppose in a town there are equal number of men and women, 50% men, 50% women, and suppose a murder has taken place in that town, and we know that only one person, either a man or a woman, has committed that murder. Now you have to find out what is the probability that that criminal, that murderer, that probability that criminal is a man. So what will be probability of that criminal being a man, that I am denoting by PM, that is probability that the criminal is a man, will be half. Similarly, probability that it will be a woman will be half. And I am assuming that all men and women are equally likely to be associated or to be involved in that murder, and that murder has been committed by a single person. So probability of a man being the criminal is half, probability of woman being the criminal is half. So this is my probability. Now suppose you have been given an additional information. It has come to know that okay, a cigarette butt was found near the crime scene. Now it is established that the murderer is a smoker, that the criminal is a smoker, and we know that majority of the smoker of that town are predominantly men. Say suppose this say this is 70% of the area and this is 30%, that is 70% of smoker in that town are men and remaining 30% of smoker are women. Now when you have been given this additional information about the murder, that the criminal is a smoker, so this probability will change. Why? It's very simple, very intuitively clear, that now that we know that the criminal is a smoker, that the probability that that criminal will be a man, given that he is a smoker, will be what will it will be 70%. If you find this, it will be probability that he is a man given he is a smoker will be number of this set, that is M intersection S divided by total number of this smoker set. So probability will be this one, that he is a man is this area, this percentage, so it will be 0.7. Similarly, probability that the criminal will be a woman, given that the criminal has to be a smoker, will be 0.3. So what has happened, this information, this additional information tells me about conditional probability, and it gives me a much more clearer picture whether he is going to be a man or he is going to be a woman. So this is the whole idea of conditional probability. So I can write it as an appropriate definition of conditional probability when all the outcomes are equally likely. You see, in this case also I have taken that all men and women are equally likely to be the criminal to begin with. Now that I have come to know that they are a smoker, so they are also equally likely to be 70% here, 30% here. So in one of those equally likely case, this is one of the probable rules of conditional probability, that probability of A given B, that is given that B has happened, is equal to number of elements of A intersection B divided by number of elements of B. So this rule gives me an idea that okay, this is valid only for the equal outcome case, so that I can write it as number of elements and number of elements. But this gives me an idea, this gives me a hint that even in those cases in which this equal outcome thing is not happening, I can derive and I can write my conditional probability as like this. You see, an appropriate definition for equal likely case was like this: number of elements of A intersection B by B. But this number of elements of A intersection B, if I divide them by say n of sigma, that is my sample space, dividing in numerator also and dividing in denominator also, so what I will get? Probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. So this is the definition, this is the definition of conditional probability, and we have assumed that this is the definition for all kind of cases, whether the outcomes are equally likely or not. And I will show in next slide also that this law of conditional probability satisfies all the three axioms of probability. What were those axioms? Number one, it has to be greater than 0, that is satisfied very easily. Number two, additivity theorem, that okay, if I take say A1 and A2, two disjoint events, then their conditional probability will be sum of the conditional probability of A1 plus conditional probability of A2. So that is number 2, and number 3 will be that probability of omega, the sample space is 1, that will come out to be 1. So it satisfies all the three things. Okay, in this definition we have also assumed that PB is greater than 0. Why? Because by the very definition of conditional probability, I mean that what is the probability of A given that B has happened. So given that B has happened, it means probability of B has to be greater than 0. You cannot take a case in which PB is equal to 0, because it means that the event will never happen. So if the event is never going to happen, why talk about conditional probability? Moreover, if your PB is 0, then this definition will also not be valid, because division by 0 is not allowed. So this definition I can write it in this term also, that probability of A intersection B is equal to PB into probability of A given B, and this will be made use of in subsequent lectures when I talk about Bayes theorem and independence of event. Okay, so this is the basic rule of conditional probability. So we'll see one case, one example, and that is we toss a fair coin 3 successive times. We wish to find the conditional probability of A given B, where A and B are the events. Event A is more heads than tails come up. Event B is first toss is a head. So these are my two events defined as like this. I want to find the conditional probability of A given B. So let's see how I will solve it. First of all, what is my sample space? Sample space will be HHH, HHT, that's 8. There will be 8 outcomes in the sample space. Why? Because we are tossing a coin 3 times. So 2 cube 8. These are the 8 possible outcomes. For B, the event is first toss is a head. So it will be H, 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 H. So these are the 4 outcomes which will be in event B. For event A, more heads than tails comes up. So these, this and this. So these 4 outcomes will be lying in event A. So now what will be probability of B? It will be 4 by 8, number of outcomes in B divided by number of outcomes in sample space, because all the outcomes are equally likely. So I can use this formula. Now what will be A intersection B? A intersection B will be this element, and then this element. So A intersection B will have 3 elements. So probability of A intersection B will be 3 by 8. So probability of A given B will be 3 by 8 divided by 4 by 8, that is 3 by 4. So this is the conditional probability of event A given that event B has happened. You could have very easily calculated this without this all this mathematical jargon also. What it is basically saying that first toss has to be head. Now when you have been given that first toss has to be head, then your this, basically you are concentrating on these 4 cases. Out of these 4 cases, more heads than tails come up. That is, event A will happen in this one, and this one, because in this number of tails is 2 and head is 1. So what is the probability? Given that B has happened, it means basically in conditional probability what is happening, your sample space is being reduced. Earlier, to begin with, my sample space was something like this. This is my sample space. When I find the conditional probability of A given B, I have to find the conditional probability based upon B set. So what happens, this is suppose my set B, then I can say that now my whole probability is concentrating upon this set only. Rather than concentrating on the whole omega, I am concentrating only on B, that is my sample space. Effectively my sample space has been restricted or contracted to this space. So that's what happening here. Earlier your omega was consisting of 8 elements. The moment you say that event B has happened, that is your sample space is now these 4 elements. Out of these 4 elements, these first three are the favorable cases, favorable to A. So probability of A given B will be 3 by 4. So now let me summarize the properties of conditional probability for you. Conditional probability of an event A given an event B with PB greater than 0 is defined as like this. Probability of A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B divided by PB. So this specifies a new conditional probability law on the same sample space omega. In particular, all properties of probability laws remain valid for conditional probability laws also. So these conditional probabilities can also be viewed as a probability law on a new universe B, because all of the conditional probability is concentrated on B. If the possible outcomes are finitely many and equally likely, then I can say that probability of A given B is equal to number of elements of A intersection B divided by number of elements of, call this omega. This rectangle is my sample space, and this is my event A, the purple one, and this is my event B, the red one. So when I am calculating probability of event A, I am concentrating on the whole sample space, I am concentrating on whole omega. The moment I have to find, say, probability of A given B, then what I have to do? I have to go for probability of A intersection B. So I am concentrating on this intersection portion, and I have to find what is the probability of this intersection portion given this B has happened. So for finding conditional probability, effectively my sample space has been reduced to this red circle, this set B, because now I am concentrating just on this red circle B, and this is my intersection portion. So PA given B is P of A intersection B divided by P of B.